slowing down is the most natural thing to do in nature. If you want something to be natural, slow it down. If you want someone to naturally fall in love with you, slow it down. If you want to see the most powerful organisms and the most intelligent organism, look for the organisms that develop slowly at first and then after a while develop unstoppable momentum. Slowing it down is nature at its finest, and nature is ultimately seductive to humans. Why? Because nature does not hurry, says Lao Tzu, yet everything is accomplished. So it doesn't matter how slowly you go as long as you don't stop, says Confucius. So what I wanted to talk about today is how we are getting in the way of this natural process of falling in love, right? And the way that you get in the way with it is trying to speed it up. You cannot speed up baking. You cannot speed up a baby developing in the womb. You cannot speed up cooking. Anything fast has negative consequences that you're not aware of. Fast food has negative consequences, but slow things are always good for you. Okay, like honestly, nothing says you're toxic than speeding it up. Nothing says you're not toxic than having an appropriate slowing down speed. Now, not so slow that nothing happens, not so slow that the person says, let's do it in the future, but slow enough for them to feel a little impatient, slow enough for them to feel a little agitated. And so in today's video, we're going to be talking about these strategies that you guys can apply. And if you guys want to learn how to apply this strategy, I call it slow. In military strategy, they call it slow, quick. If you want to learn to apply this strategy in your life, in your relationships, and you think you speed up too fast, and you think you don't know how to slow your hot ass down, then you could go click in the description down below, or hit the scan the QR code where you guys can access me and work with me one-on-one. Ladies and gentlemen, ever since I started putting the QR code, I don't have time anymore. I'm raising up the prices. people are like, oh my God, you're more expensive than a fucking therapist. Well, I'm not a therapist. I'm Father Alex, one of a kind in this world, people. I try to ask your therapist these questions, and they're gonna send you to a psychiatrist. So yeah, if you guys want individual advice by me, talk to me individually. Get on the phone with me today, like literally, not an AI. Not an assistant like some people have. You guys can literally work with me one-on-one. And yes, I am a little rough on the edges. I do give you guys tough love, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna give you guys my honest opinion, because that's what matters, right? Like honestly, I should pile up all of my testimonies. Like I just got sent wedding photos, and I'm like, where's my cake? What the fuck? Like I just get a bunch of testimonies from people who get married, who finally find their dream person, who finally got their dream girlfriend. I had a client I helped get 2 girlfriends. I'm like, what the fuck? Help! I gotta help myself out with that. I'm kidding. But yeah, like it's truly phenomenal. These strategies work on anyone. And as I tell guys, with guys, it takes work. Okay, you gotta develop yourself. You can't just be cute as a guy, right? So I teach guys specific strategies to extend their social circles, to make friends. Like I tell you guys, I have a art group, and you can meet people that way. And yeah, so click in the description down below, or else I'm closing the channel. So yeah, the strategy is called slow, quick. And the way that it works is that it works on people's impatience and on people's tendencies to want to predict things, people's tendency to want to create a form out of you. In other words, at first, when you first meet people, they're formless. You don't know who they are, and as you slowly get to know them, they develop a form. But one of the things about humans is that once you develop that form, once you imagine them being the way that they are, any breakage of it completely causes your brain to go on overload and pay deeper attention so that it can create another form. Like humans like form, right? Our thoughts get turned into form. Our ideas get turned into form, right? And so this slowing down process slows down the formations of forms, and humans don't like that. That's why the greatest artists, we admire them, because they exhibit patience in being able to have patience in such a slow process. So the way you do this, right, is the first slow is you getting to know them. This is why I tell people this, okay? And I want you guys to pay deeper attention to this. I prefer you guys meet people through your friends and family, and through social circles, and through activities, rather than online. And now there's some conflicting evidence, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna show my bias. There's some conflicting evidence that says that people who meet online have a longer marriage. It shows that. I don't know why, but my instincts tell me that when you meet people through online, there's too many factors. You don't know the person. When you meet them through friends and family, you kind of know them. But also, this is the most important part, is that when you first meet people through a normal setting, there's two phases. The first phase is the slow phase of gathering information, right? Like a military general doesn't go straight to war. He first gathers information, and that's actually the foundation of success for a military general. Gathering the information, flying over the terrain, having a fingertip sensation as to the morale of your own troops and the morale of the other troops, understanding those little things, the slowing down gathering process is vitally important. And so in this case, when you meet people online, this process goes away, right? You kind of jump into the second process, which is dating, right? So the first slow is gathering information, right? Seeing whether or not they like you if you meet them in real life, not through online. And then the second slow is the dating process. Okay, I think this person likes me. Let's go on a date. And now you're going from date to relationship. That's the next slow process. What people don't understand is that to have the ultimate slowness, you have to have the first process, because that process might take a month or so. The slowness of getting to know each other creates a bond that you don't create when you meet people online. You can apply this strategy with people who you meet online, right? And this bond is very simple. You don't know they like you. You see them interact with other people. How do I get to know them? Who knows them? And so over time you see them, you muster up the courage to get to know each other, and then one day you guys talk. But you don't really know if they like you. You talk, and there's an air of uncertainty. You might feel like they're flirting with you, but you don't really know if they are. That state of uncertainty, state of limbo, that state of suspense, that uncertainty marinates your heart and prepares it for you to be more reactive to them, to think of them once they're gone, to say, did they like me, or was it all in my head? That process, you cannot replace. You just cannot replace that process with anything else. It is the most important part, in my opinion, one of the most important parts, because like this is why I tell guys, you gotta be, as a guy, you have to rethink how you see getting physical with a woman. You gotta realize that sometimes a woman might just want to get a kiss from you and bounce, want to just get that dizzy and bounce, right? And a lot of guys and women will notice is they just rush it too fast. They rush it. You don't know how to make a woman suffer a little bit, how to make a woman be in yearning for you, because it's a painful experience, but it creates the pleasure. Once the tension is released, more pleasurable. And so a lot of guys are just too freaking selfish, too self-absorbed to apply this part of the strategy. And so it makes a lot of sense why a lot of women are just completely unsatisfied with the dizzy that guys are slinging out there, simply because guys don't understand that the quality of your dick isn't the quality of the dick itself. It's really how much you created that desire before they got that holy dizzy. How much did you prime them for the holy dizzy? And you prime them through slowing it down, because every guy wants to speed it up. And so naturally a woman will get offended by that, right? So that's how it works with guys, the slowing down process, right? And I tell this to people that if you don't do this, it's like you could be a great chef, but if you don't know how to prep your food, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. So once you get to know them, right, you gotta understand, when you first getting to know people, the first date, when it's not online, is a little hazy, because you can meet them through work and they like you and you're like, hey, you want to hang out on Friday? They say yeah, but you don't know if they really want to hang out to go on a date with you. And as a guy, I use that to my advantage, right? Because I sort of it's kind of like, I know she thinks it might be a date, but also she also think this might not be a date, because I'm such a friendly person. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to kiss the girl. I don't try to take her back home. I'm just getting to know the person. But it has a paradoxical effect that it fucks with them, because I'm not being so direct. I'm not being so pursuing. I'm pursuing, but not being physical. And a lot of people just don't understand how important it is to keep your sexual attraction to the person for as long as possible. And if you are selfish, if you have no control of your feelings, you're not going to do this. Why? Because the first step to apply this is to master yourself, particularly your tendency to become emotional. By developing patience, your options expand. You're able to do more things. You're able to get them to feel emotions they usually wouldn't feel. which could give you more energy and power. Taking advantage of other people's mistakes because they start to over pursue. They don't know whether or not this is a date, so they start to do things to get a reaction out of you. They start to dress in a more sexy way. They start to be more romantic to get a reaction out of you, to see what happens, to see whether or not they could get something out of you. Just remember, you have to stay calm during your counterattacks while the other person becomes frustrated in emotions. And the only frustration they're going to feel is to, what was this? Was this a date? Or was this like a casual meetup? That is what you want. Because then everything you do will create confusion and pleasure. They'll be drawn to you because they just can't figure you out, right? Why? Because the slowness offends people. The slowness agitates their impatience. This impatience creates a desire for them to all of a sudden make the first move. They'll be like, what are we? Are we going out? Is this a date? You want to go back home? Should I buy you dinner? Like even as a guy, you'll notice women doing masculine type of shit. You'll notice women taking the initiative. You'll notice women directly asking you, what do you want? And it is not a manipulation, because if you've gone through the steps, getting to know them through friends and family or through a social circle like a salsa club, a drawing club, meditation club, as long as you consistently go there and they are consistently there and they see you every day, and over time they develop they start to like you over time. As long as you do that, the second phase of the dating process is even more tantalizing, because you sort of sense that they like you, but they haven't confessed it to you. You gotta understand is that online dating, you already tell them you like them. And I just want you guys to just remember. Imagine how if you guys ever dated someone online and actually ever dated someone through real life, like, you know, the contrast. If you were being honest with yourself, which one felt more better? Which one felt that you actually accomplished something? The person you met through real life, because it felt like you had to charm them. You knew people were watching. You knew they knew people who you know, so you had to behave a little bit more careful. There was more planning. There was more thinking, and because of that, it developed slower. But if you really pay attention neurochemically, it's an intensity that online dating just doesn't match. So this strategy creates desire to make the first move, slowing it down. And that's why I tell people, if the person you're going out with is not making the first move, just slow down a little bit. Slow it down, right? Slow saves you energy and shows a person that you have strength and that you have and your true intentions. And above all, it kind of like confuses them, because especially as a guy that's slow usually has a small dick, right? You know, so he's like, man, you know, I'm trying to get to know you, but reality got a small dick, right? But generally speaking, it offends people. Because the more you like the person, the faster you want to go. You have an urge that, as it's almost like a ball rolling down the hill. That's how relationships are. You start slow, speed it up. What I want you to do is just when you sense that they want to speed it up, slow their hot ass down. Slow them a little bit. Take a tiny step back. And that's why, honestly, this is why I sometimes, like me, I don't date as much right now. But when I do go on dates, I personally don't even kiss the girl on the first date. Before I used to, I don't. You know, I'll have girls come over. Like, for example, like if I was dating, I'll have girls come over and they'll chill here and we'll watch a movie and I wouldn't even make a move. It's gotten to the point where they make the first move. Now, you're going to encounter people who you really like and who want to speed it up for some reason or another. And this is where you could get caught out very quickly. Because anytime, studies show that couples that rush into a relationship have lower levels of satisfaction, higher breakup rates, higher divorce rates, everything. Nothing good, I swear to God, nothing good ever comes from someone who wants a relationship within the first month, from someone who wants to do things too quickly. If you want to come across as somebody who has options, as somebody who's trustworthy, as somebody who has value, the fastest way, ironically, is slowing it down. And I know a lot of dating coaches, particularly with guys, are telling guys to get that poom, get that kiss as soon as possible, touch her as soon as possible. If we're really being honest, does that really go with human nature? Look, the only time I would tell guys particularly to speed it up, is if you know you're not going to see that chick anymore. If you know you're only gonna see her that day, yeah, clap them cheeks, right? Right? But if you know that they're gonna be there next week, next month, why speed it up? The only reason you're speeding it up is because you're too impatient. You want that poom poom too much, and there's just too much power that's lost, too much influence that's lost on the table because you just have no patience. Now, a lot of people will watch this, men, women, and they'll tell me, like particularly guys, will say that a lot of guys are desperate for physical touch. So I kind of understand them not applying this. But, women will agree that a guy that slows things down looks more confident. Now, there's a point where you might look like you're being a little bitch, right? That happened to me where I was dating a girl, and actually I met her through school, but exactly this. I didn't know if she liked me. We were talking for a month. We always hung out. And I didn't know I thought she didn't like me. She invited me to salsa class. I didn't know if that was a date. We would dance together. And I remember how my dick would get hard, but I didn't. But she was dancing close to my leg, and I would like dance on the other side so that she doesn't feel that. And I remember my friend told me, she was like, dude, like she was onto you, bro. And I was like, I didn't know that. She was like, yo, bro, she stopped talking to you because you were being a little bitch. She even said, man up. Like she told me that he wasn't manning up. And I'm like, she really said that shit? She was like, yeah. It's like, fuck. Right? I slowed it down too much. Right? There comes a point when the person starts to give you signs that they like you. If you sensing it, wait a little bit and then make a move. If they're clearly shown, because the whole point of this is just to get them to make effort. It's just to get them to show you that they also like you. Once they do that, then you can make the move. Then you can take a bold action, right? But if you don't get that sensation from them, you just keep slowing it down until they start to demand to speed up the process. Once they ask for it, wait a tiny bit longer, and boom, speed it up. And that will make them just so receptive to them because you're breaking their willpower in a positive way, not a negative way, right? Because they want you so badly that they'll take anything from you, right? And if you're trying to make them fall in love, this is literally the process. And the beauty about the slowdown is that it prevents you from making mistakes. Because every mistake that you do comes from you not slowing your hard ass down. Every mistake you ever made in dating, that always comes from your impatience and not being able to master yourself. And this is why I tell you guys, have the meditation practice. Develop a meditation practice or purchase my course, Emotional Mastery. It's a course that I made specifically to develop a meditation practice and to master your emotions specifically in the dating arena. Like that course is specifically made to help you develop a meditation practice so that it could remove all of that creepy energy that you have when you're needy and you want their validation. So you can click on the description down below where it says purchase Emotional Mastery. And if you don't like it, I could just give you your money back. It's no big deal, right? So yeah, develop this process, man. I do this now and I find it more pleasurable. I feel like there isn't as many like just hookups and they don't come back. Like what I tend to notice is that when I do this, women like you more. They like you more because you just seem so chilled out. And when I see women do this, and this is what I tell a woman, like if you're gonna do this, make sure you meet them in real life because guys online they want quick boom boom. They'll give you like a 3 or 4 day rule. When you meet them through real life, who knows what the fuck is the first date? You could go on fucking 10 meetups and literally still a guy will not put you on the clock because they don't know when it's the first date or not. It's truly it's a revealing thing because what this does is that it reveals a person's true nature, right? It reveals whether or not this person that you're dating has patience, has control of their emotions. How do they get when they can't get what they want? Do they start getting bickery or do they start pulling away? How do they deal with that type of stuff? It'll reveal like it's common. Robert Greene says there's a chapter in Robert Greene's book says anger and emotion are strategically counterproductive and you must always stay calm and objective. But if you can make your enemies angry or impatient in this case, while staying calm yourself, you gain a decided advantage. Put your enemies off balance. Find the chick in their vanity through which you can rattle them and hold the strings, right? And this is a strategy, just slowing down. If you master this art, you'll notice that dating, you'll have more people fall in love with you. You'll be more at ease, and you get more done. You get them more obsessed by you. They get them more obsessed with you doing little work. Okay? Anyways, take care. Bye-bye. So a lot of you guys have been asking me, how can I purchase all of your courses in one go? Well, if you guys want to purchase all of them, you guys can join the Mindful Attraction University, people. Yeah, that's right. And in this, you'll be able to access all of my courses for $3.99. Initially, if you purchase all of my courses, Emotional Mastery, Psychological Game of Attraction, my new course, The Feminine Woman, Natural Chemistry, Charisma Blueprint, Nice Girl, you guys can purchase all of it for $600. But with the bundle deal, you guys can purchase it for $3.99. Or you guys can purchase it in 3 easy payments of $125, people. Yeah, that's right. Or you guys can purchase it with the bonuses. So you not only do you get the courses, but the bonuses. And that comes down to $7.99 or 4 easy and mindful payments of $199. Now, these bonuses are not regular bonuses. These bonuses are legit, almost like courses within a course, right? So you guys can just click on the description down below and explore the types of bonuses. For example, I have bonuses on how to get over your ex, how to become more creative, how to, especially in the Feminine Woman, I have a bonus about how to penetrate the mind and how to speak in a way that gets people to do what you want them to do. Like, it's honestly one of the craziest sections that I've ever made, because most of these courses, people, I come up with those ideas in meditation retreats. Nobody goes to the extent that I go. I go to meditation retreat to create these courses. There's a 14-day money back guarantee. If you don't like it, just ask me for the money back within 14 days, and I'll give you all the money back. Father Alex has never rejected a money back offer if I offered it. So, and if you guys already purchased one of my courses, for example, and you guys want to get the bonuses while getting a discount, you know what I'm saying? I have discount codes for people who purchase my courses. So if you purchase my courses, just send me a private message. Or if you work with me one-on-one, I'll give you a big discount for the courses. And there I can help all of you guys understand that this is a movement. Most people never knew this type of knowledge before. And I am trying to empower women across the world and liberate them from these negative and one-sided relationships through these courses. So hopefully you guys can spread the message and help other people out. And I'll see you guys inside, or else I'm close to